Hi, researchers. I hope your reading is going well. It looks like you all did such a fantastic job on your boxes and bullets practice and your sequential practice. I'm super proud of you. Text structures are not easy, and you're really showing a great understanding of it so far. So I have a question. As you guys have been reading your nonfiction books, have you maybe come across a book and you're looking for the text structure, you're looking for boxes and bullets, and you're looking for sequential, and then you realize like it doesn't really follow either of these? Has that happened to you? That's because there's more than those two text structures. Today we're going to learn about another one. So today I want to teach you that when you look over a text thinking, how is this structured? It helps to have a handful of options of text structures in mind. Some are boxes and bullets, which is main idea and supporting details. Some are sequential, and some are going to be the new one we are learning about today, compare and contrast. So when we're looking for compare, contrast text structure, it really helps to look for some keywords. There's going to be some keywords that signal to us, oh, this is a compare, contrast text structure. Again, when we compare and contrast, you're talking about the similarities and differences. So let me show you one passage I have about frogs and toads, and let's see if we can find any keywords that will tell us what type of text structure this is. So this passage is called Frogs and Toads, Similar but Different. Wow, right away, I'm already noticing words like similar and different. Are they going to be comparing and contrasting? It certainly seems like it. So let's read and see if we see any other words that signal to us this is a compare-contrast essay. Are they talking about similarities and differences? Frogs and toads are similar in some ways and different in others. Again, some key words that are telling me this is compare, contrast, similar and different. It's literally telling me, it's going to be telling me how they're similar and different. They are both amphibians, which means they both live on land and water, and they both breathe with their lungs. Both to me means it's like together. So that must be how they're similar. So whenever you see both, that usually means they're talking about similar. They're comparing them. Comparing means the same, and when we contrast, we talk about how they're different. So again, both. They are also both cold-blooded. So again, a similarity, which means their body temperatures go up and down based on what is around them. Their life cycle is similar, another keyword. Their life cycle is similar too, from eggs to tadpoles with legs, and eventually without tails to little frogs and toads that hop into land. All right, so right now I see a lot of comparing, talking about how they're similar. Let's be on the lookout for keywords that signal maybe now they're talking about how they're different or contrasting them. On the other hand, frogs and toads are also different in some ways. Ooh, look, some more signal words. On the other hand, that means they're going to be talking about how they're different. Again, some more keywords. Toads don't have teeth, but frogs do. Frogs don't use their teeth for chewing or biting, but they do use them for holding prey. Another difference, oh, look, another key word signaling that they're contrasting between frogs and toads is that frogs' legs are different, again, different, than those of a toad. The back legs of a frog are especially powerful, so can jump from tree to tree. All right, readers, now I want you to take a second, start reading the next paragraph, and call out any keywords that are signaling it's comparing or contrasting. Call it out to anyone. Call it to me at the screen. Go ahead. Did anyone see the word unlike, which shows that they are contrasting them? I sure did. Let's read the last paragraph together. Although both frogs and toads use camouflage to hide, they do it differently. So look, it's saying both. So it's talking about something that's similar first, but then they're talking about how they're different. Frogs are usually green so they can hide in ponds. Toads, in contrast, again, a signal that they're talking about they're different, are usually brown so they can hide in old leaves and stumps. So readers, do you see when we're looking for a compare contrast text structure, there's a lot of keywords that signal to us that it is a compare and contrast structure. So let's go over some of those words just to review. So let's look at this column, compare and contrast, organized text structure, and the words we need to look for. So if we're comparing or talking about how they're similar, usually some keywords are both, alike, similar, to, same. If we're contrasting or talking about how they're different, different, unlike, although, on the other hand, in contrast. We'll go back and visit these other keywords in a little. Now that we know it's a compare contrast text structure, I can take notes that represent that. Do you guys remember when we talked about a Venn diagram? That's when it's like the two circles. Well, I already took notes on this article using my compare contrast text structure, which is a Venn diagram to take my notes. So let me show you. So remember, I talked about frogs on one side and toads on the other, and then how they're similar are both in the middle. So different, the same. So toads, they camouflage in old leaves and stumps. They have bumpy skin and no teeth. Where frogs camouflage in ponds. They have smooth skin and teeth. So I talked about the differences. But then I talked about what's the same. They both live in land and water. Okay? So readers, do you see how when we're looking for a compare contrast text structure, there are keywords that we can look for? Then, once we know it's compare contrast, we can use a Venn diagram to take our notes about how they are similar and different. Now today I talked a lot about keywords signaling to us what the text structure is. We can also do that for main idea and supporting details. Some keywords when we're looking for boxes and bullets are one way, kind, sort, type. Also, in addition, furthermore, for example, in specific, for instance. If we're looking for sequentially order, we want to look for keywords such as first, then, next, later, at the beginning, at bit later, before long, when they were young, later, early on, after, years later, maybe they're giving years, which you guys saw with the marbles. All right, so let's recap all we've learned so far about text structures. So we know that we can take notes either following boxes and bullets, sequential, and now compare contrast. And remember, for compare contrast, it's super important to look for those keywords that signal. Are they comparing? Are they contrasting? Okay, similarities and differences. All right. Off you go, readers. Try this in your work and reading today.